Welcome to the second episode of Sandy Vijay's podcast. Today we will discuss the continuation of the development of Sudjana Kerton, his formation years after being known in the local art scene in Indonesia, how he went and built his path internationally. Started by receiving a scholarship to the Netherlands, Paris, followed to New York, the United States. And here we have the eldest daughter, Madam Tjandra Kerton.
Hello again.
Continuing on your previous exciting story, please share with us after he got the Stikusa scholarship, what did he do as a young man going to Europe, taking very far away from Bandung, and I don't think there were many aeroplanes, right? Commercial flights back then.
So after he got the scholarship to study in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, he went on this journey to the Netherlands by ship.
Wow.
So he took, I guess it was a Dutch ship.
Oh yeah.
A Dutch based ship, and I think he took about 2 months to get to the Netherlands from Indonesia. So they were traveling throughout the Middle East. They went through the Middle East. The route was from Asia up to Singapore and then into the Middle East before they got to Europe.
I see.
And so my father, when they were sailing into the port in Amsterdam, my father got the shock of his life because he said that when they disembarked from the ship, the first thing he saw were the Dutch European women washing clothes in the river. They were actually washing clothes in the river.
Wow.
Just like in Indonesia. And he was just so taken aback. He thought, my goodness, in Indonesia, the Dutch were having the Indonesians wash their clothes. And here in Europe, in the Netherlands, they're doing their own washing because it was right after the end of World War II.
Yes.
And the Netherlands was, I think, in a bad situation. It was in a bad condition. It had just been through the war.
Yes.
And there were a lot of the Dutch were very many displaced people. Perhaps
Yes.
I don't know exactly what the situation was, but he was very shocked to see that.
Yes.
And then he retold it later, which was, I think, it was something that was very ironic to him. Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, so the other thing that he felt was that it was very cold.
I see.
He going from Asia, from Indonesia, the tropics, and then he goes, into Europe, and it's cold and it's wet, raining, and he was, oh my goodness, he had never experienced such weather.
I think what really was amazing, Kerton went to Europe after the Second World War. Very few artists went to Europe and America after the Second World War, especially from Southeast Asia, because Southeast Asia countries were still forming and the government is still not strong. Was he the only artist that received the Stikusa scholarship?
Yes. So my father said that he was the first Indonesian artist after World War II, and also after the Indonesian Revolution was over.
I see.
To receive this scholarship.
Wow.
The very first artist, and I think that a lot of people in Indonesia do not know this.
I see.
That he was actually the first one to receive a scholarship to study in Europe.
Yes. So I can say that Kerton is one of the Southeast Asian artist pioneer who went internationally because the US won the Second World War and Europe was won against Nazi with the help of the United States. Kerton became a very important iconic artist representing Indonesia and Southeast Asia at large.
Yes, exactly.
During his time.
Yes, he was. And a few months after he left, there were other artists from Bandung that also got the scholarship, such as Mokhtar Apin and Barli.
Yep.
from Bandung as well.
Yep.
So they actually did go to Europe around the same time, but not until my father had done it first.
Yes.
So my father was
Paved the way.
he paved the way.
He paved the way.
Paved the way for the others to follow.
I see.
So that I think that's very significant.
That is the significance of Kerton
Yes.
in this Indonesian and Southeast Asia's art contribution
Yes.
in the region. And how would you, being an Indonesian and then going to Europe, was he a nationalist?
Yes, he was very much a nationalist. He was, of course, he took part in the revolution. You know, he did his part. He was the underground artist journalist
Yes.
who did all this sketching,
Yes.
along with some other artists as well, of course. And he helped Bung Karno, the president Sukarno at that time.
Yes.
You know, during the revolutionary efforts.
Yes.
So he was very nationalistic. He was very patriotic.
Yes.
And became even more so while being away from Indonesia for all those years.
I see. How would you say so? That he becomes more nationalistic being away from Indonesia.
Yeah, because he left Indonesia, but the memories stayed with him. So his childhood memories of going to the rice fields, of going to the markets in Bandung, stayed with him.
I
so he went from Amsterdam. He went to Paris for a few months and studied at the Académie du Grand Chaumière. And after that, he got another scholarship to go and study in New York, in the United States.
Yes.
And throughout his studies,
Yes.
the artwork that he did was the themes that he painted or that he sketched were all Indonesian themes.
Wonderful.
Of Indonesian everyday life,
Yes.
of life in the villages
Yes.
for Indonesians. And he did not really sketch or draw or paint many of the European or US scenes, although there were some of those.
Yep.
But the bulk of his artwork was on Indonesian themes.
I see. And how long did he stay in Europe, and what did he get from the learning experience in Europe?
Well, while he was studying at Amsterdam and also in Paris, he had the opportunity to do modeling. Well, to sketch models, nude models. This was part of the anatomy courses, of
Yes.
course, that they took.
Yes.
But the sketches of nudes are still with us.
Yes.
We still have a big collection
Yes.
of these sketches.
Yes.
And he was able to study how to do human anatomy
Yes.
from these courses.
Yes. I remember seeing those sketches when he did in Bandung in 1949, and then in 1950s when he learned the anatomy drawing in Paris. Wow, he has improved so much.
Yes.
The fingers, they're amazing. I think he perfected his skills, right? The basic anatomy
Yes.
that any art students would have completed, but was not really available in Indonesia by that time, right?
Yes. He did do some studies of nudes in Bandung, as I believe.
Yep.
But it was hard for them to get models,
I see.
women who wanted to be nude,
Okay.
you know, for a fee.
Yes. Yes.
So I think he and his friends at that time in Bandung, they actually had to hire a prostitute to take off her clothes
In Bandung.
in Bandung,
Okay.
so that they could sketch her in
Okay.
the nude.
Yes.
Because nice women didn't do that,
Yeah.
even for a fee.
Yeah.
So, but the prostitute, of course, she was willing to do that.
Yes.
She thought it was strange that
Yes.
they just wanted her to be in the nude, just
Yeah.
like, you know. But that's how they
Because during those time there is no art school, right?
well, there was an art school, but
There was an art school, but
Yes.
very informally, right?
yes,
Not as instituted as we are today.
That's
we have
right.
universities of
Yeah.
art, schools of art. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. So when I was learning, basically, I came about Kerton. This is the book that I found 10 years ago
Yes.
from the second-hand bookshop. And then I learned about Kerton, and I find his works to be very nationalistic and mystical in a way.
Yes, yes,
How would you describe your father's spirituality?
My father was very spiritual in the sense that he felt that everything was one. So, for like a circle, it's like there's no end, there's no beginning. It just
Yes.
and especially with this painting on this cover, it's called Tanah Airku, my country, Indonesia, and it's actually an amalgamation of Indonesian life. So you've got Borobudur, you've got the water buffalo, which was a very a presence in the rice fields. It
Yes.
wasn't ever,
Yes. There was no tractor back then.
no tractors. So they used water buffaloes
Buffaloes, yeah.
for their farming.
Yes.
And so these are all elements of Indonesian daily life.
Yes.
And I think this is the most iconic painting that my father has ever done.
Yeah.
This is the painting that is the
Yeah.
most iconic.
There's a Garuda here.
There's a Garuda as well.
Very
and
interesting.
Merapi is erupting
Yes.
as well up there.
Yes.
And
Very
there's
nice.
yes.
Yes.
So and this painting actually was commissioned by the Indonesian embassy in The Hague in the
I
Netherlands.
see. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that was after his return to visit Sukarno, right? And then he was commissioned
Yes.
by the
Ambassador.
ambassador, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
tell us after Paris, how did he go to New York?
Yes. So he after Paris, he went back to Amsterdam, but then by that time, apparently the consulate general of Indonesia at the UN asked my father if he could bring a group of an exhibition of Indonesian paintings to the US, for a tour.
I see.
What do you call it? A traveling exhibition.
Yes.
A traveling exhibition. And he said, "Oh, Kerton, can you do this for us?" And my father said, "Yes, of course." So while he was arranging for this trip, he thought, well, why don't I'll try to apply for another scholarship. So he ended up applying for several scholarships to some art institutes, and he was accepted at the Art Students League in New York City
Yes.
to study there.
Yes. Amazing. And that school is still around. You can Google it. Art Students League.
Yes.
Yes. They still offer courses. So any of you would like to study in New York, check that school out.
Yes.
They offer short courses too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where he was for the next, from 1951 or 1952 until 1956 or 57.
And then what did he do?
He studied there. He
Yes.
was there. He was took these classes
Yes.
with people such as Harry Sternberg and
Yes.
Yasuo Kuniyoshi, who were
Yes.
very well-known artists at
Yeah.
that time
Yes.
in the 1950s.
Yes.
And especially in New York. And at
Wow.
that time, New York City was like a mecca for artists.
Still is, right?
It still is, but
Still
even then,
is.
at that time,
Yes.
even this is like after the war, right?
Yes.
And so, but it was an
It's
exciting place to be. It was
Yeah.
exciting. It was.
It's the center of banking institution.
Yes.
Center of the wealthiest people on this planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even at that time,
Yes.
in the 1950s, which
Yes.
is saying a lot.
Yes.
And so my father thoroughly enjoyed himself in
Yes.
New York City.
Yes.
He thought, oh, this is the place to be.
Yes.
And of course, the only thing is, he did get ill. He got
Yes.
sick.
Yes.
And that's how he met my mother.
How did
because-
he get sick?
Well, the weather was very cold.
Yes.
And
In
I
New York.
think he got some kind of pneumonia or some kind of
Respiratory
yeah,
problems.
Yes. So
Yeah.
he was admitted to hospital.
Because he was trying to save on his allowance, probably.
The
Electricity is expensive, right? And heating is expensive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But he had the help. You know who helped him was the Indonesian ambassador
Oh,
in
yeah?
Washington, Washington D.C.
Wow.
He heard about my father being sick, so they went to New York and they helped him to be hospitalized.
I see.
So it was from the Indonesian embassy.
Oh,
They
wow.
actually did help him.
Yay.
Yeah,
Kudos to the Indonesian embassy.
Yes.
Yes.
So they in fact, I met the people who used to work at the embassy.
Yes.
Back in the 1980s when I
Yes.
was living here in Bandung. They said, "Oh, your father, we felt so sorry for him. You know, he was just alone. There's no one around to help. So we helped him."
Oh,
I
I
said,
see.
"Oh my goodness, it's so gratifying to know that you helped my father at that time."
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And then, how did your father meet your mom?
So my mother was a nurse working at the hospital where my father was being
Mm-hmm.
hospitalized. And I think the story goes that they did meet in the hospital. She might have been one of his nurses. I think
Okay.
she was one of his nurses. But neither my father nor my mother would admit to that.
I see.
They would say, "No, we didn't meet at the hospital." But again, you know,
Yeah.
it's part of their history, so we
Okay.
don't really know for sure. But that's what I assume happened.
Yes, I see. And when did they get married finally?
They got married in 1953.
53,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yeah. So he was still actually studying at the Art Students League when
I
they
see.
got married.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I see.
I'm not sure whether he had planned to get married
Yep.
at that time or not.
Yep. I
Yeah.
see.
Yes.
So does he paint? Does he open a gallery? Does he exhibit in New York?
Yeah, so see, he started exhibiting at galleries after he finished his studies at the Art Students League. And with my mother, of course, he was already married to her. So she helped him to get these, what do you call them?
Opportunities.
Opportunities, yeah,
Yes.
to exhibit at these different galleries. And you know, he met a lot of art people at that time.
Oh, yeah?
People who were into the art world in
Yes.
New York.
Yes.
So they really had a very large social circle, especially in the arts
Yes.
at that time, and so they started raising a family because you know
Yes.
the kids started coming along.
Yes.
So my father worked actually not only as an artist but as a photographer. He was
Oh.
able to take he took very good photos. So he was working for a modeling agency, taking photos of models,
Nice.
of women,
Wow.
women and men
Yes.
who were modeling.
Yes,
So
very nice.
that's what he did.
Wow.
You know, to
As
you know,
a student, you
earn a
have to
living.
be versatile, right?
Yes,
And make
yes.
ends meet
Yes.
for the family.
So he really got into the
Yes.
photography hobby.
Yes.
He was very good at taking photos.
Yes. So from a journalist, sketch journalist, went to a
yes.
photographer for a modeling agency in New York. How cool can that be?
It's really cool actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So did he start making art prints back then?
Yeah, so he started making graphics, prints,
Graphics.
such as woodcuts.
Yeah, I remember Andy Warhol with his Polaroid photography, right? Oh wow!
Yes.
When you mentioned photography, it reminds me of during those time, photography, modeling, Warhol.
Yes, my father actually started doing the graphics before Warhol did.
Wow.
So my father did it in the 50s. So he did the woodcuts and the lithographs and the etchings. These were all done in the 1950s.
Amazing.
Yes.
Probably your father is one of the first Southeast Asian artists that learn and produce those art prints, etching,
Yes,
wood block cut
that's right.
in New York, right?
Yes,
With all the top world artists during his time.
yes, exactly. So in fact, my father started doing these prints before the Indonesian artists did here.
Yes.
The Indonesian artists had not started doing any prints, woodcuts or whatever at that time.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yes, because the first people to do that were the ITB artists, the artists that came out of ITB,
Yes.
and ITB itself, because they didn't have they didn't have the equipment to do the printing.
Yes. Yes. I
Here.
see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my father was actually doing it first.
Okay.
He was the pioneer in so many things,
Yes.
including that.
Ah.
Yes.
And then, did your father maintain his friendship with other Indonesian artists like Afandi during his stay in New York or Hendra Gunawan?
Yes. So he kept in touch with Afandi in particular, maybe not so much Hendrea, but he was very close to Afandi. He was very good friends with him, and so Afandi and his family, and Afandi and his wife, they would visit my father, our family, in New York.
Oh, nice.
So they came to visit. We lived in a place called Brewster, and so they came to visit. It was a beautiful house on a lake. It was very close to a lake. So my father said, "Oh, Afandi, please come and visit us, and I'll take you fishing." So they went fishing. They caught fish, and then my mother went to the supermarket, and she bought watermelons and lobsters. My father as well. And so they cooked all the lobsters, and they cut up the watermelons, and they fried the fish, and they had a real Indonesian party dinner for Afandi and his wife.
Excellent.
And there were other people there as well.
Yes.
So they were like journalists from New York that they invited.
Oh, yeah.
People who were related to in connection with Indonesia in some way.
And Afandi made a painting of makan semangka, eating the watermelon, right? And your dad painted Afandi eating his watermelon too.
Yes, so they both made the same kind of painting. So my father painted Afandi eating watermelon, but Afandi didn't paint my father eating watermelon. He painted himself eating watermelon.
That's right.
Which I thought was very egotistical. So I said, my father painted him. Why didn't he paint my father? But I guess because my father wanted to, he wanted to paint his friend, his Afandi. So there is a painting called Afandi Makan Semangka, or Afandi eating watermelon.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really funny.
Yes, it's very, very funny.
And then I saw in his biography, after that, they went to Mexico.
Yes, they traveled to Mexico together. And Afandi actually went on his own as well after that. But my father took him there, and they visited. They studied. My father studied making murals.
Yes. Where did he study it from?
He went to, I think, Mexico City.
Yes.
And he studied under the mentorship of one of the Diego Rivera's students.
Excellent.
So Diego Rivera also made murals.
Yes, he's a very famous world muralist.
Yes.
Diego Rivera, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And so he studied with someone who used to be his student.
Yes.
Study how to make murals.
Yes. And we can see Kerton's mural at his house. Check out our content at CNN Indonesia Style.
Yes. So
at Sanggar Luhur, Bandung.
Yeah, that's my father made the murals in the gallery, or the studio gallery that he built in Bandung, and he painted right on the walls. So he painted these murals, these huge murals.
Oh, wow.
But this was based on what he had learned in Mexico.
Yes, and then he made a few paintings and artworks in Mexico too, right?
Yes. So there are a series of paintings of Mexican themes.
Yes.
So like the Mexican market, and then all kinds of paintings.
Matadors, I know.
Yes,
a matador.
the matador with the bull.
Yeah.
Fighting the bull. The bullfight.
And your father painted a colored man titled "The White Flower."
Yes. So that was.
Besides the man from Suriname that he did in Europe, right?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So he made references of colored people.
Yeah, of Black Americans. I'm not sure who they were actually. They might have been people from Suriname. So I'm not really sure where they were from.
Yes. Okay. And then after going to Mexico with Afandi, I read the writing from Astrid Wright. That is the beginning of their friendship, that Kerton wanted to go back to Indonesia. Yes.
Yeah. So my father had actually always wanted to return to Indonesia. I don't think he was that happy in the U.S. He settled down for a while. He had a family. He was raising a family, and so because he had 3 children, and we were in school in the States, and so every time he brought up the topic of, let's go back to Indonesia, my mother would say, but the kids are still in school. You know, we cannot take them out of school. You know, it would be a shame to move to Indonesia, you know. And so my father said, yeah, that's okay. That makes sense. But in 1964, he was invited by the Consulate General, I think, to go to Indonesia. Or no, actually, I think this person was a minister at that time, and so he invited my father to go to Indonesia to paint scenes of Irian Jaya being handed over to Indonesia from the Dutch.
Okay.
And so that's what my father did. So they traveled to what is now known as Papua.
Okay.
At that time it was called Irian.
Yes.
It was Irian Jaya.
Yes.
And so the Indonesian Air Force people had flown in, and so there were people that were parachuting in.
Yes.
You know, the soldiers, and so one of them was a female parachutist.
Yes.
And so President Sukarno asked my father to paint this woman, to make a portrait of her.
Wow.
Her name was Ibu Herlina.
Yeah.
And so he did. This was in 1964. And so he painted this woman, and the portrait of this woman is now hanging in the Istana Bogor somewhere.
Wonderful.
Because it was presented to President Sukarno at this big event in Istana Bogor.
Yeah.
At the Bogor Palace.
Yeah.
That night, President Sukarno had this huge party.
Yes.
And Titi Puspa was one of the singers, and
yes.
he said there were a lot of people from the Communist Party, Indonesian Communist Party, and
PKI.
Yes, and he actually met up with some of the artist friends who had joined that organization called Lekra.
Oh, Lekra.
And so, including Hendra Gunawan.
Yes.
And so my father told us later that he had this very bad feeling about what was going to happen. Now, I'm not sure whether he had any information, like intel information or what, but he told them, you know, please, as artists, we should be neutral, don't be political. And then they kind of laughed at him and said, "Oh, go back to the U.S. You're just you're a bourgeois person. You know, you're not really one of us anymore. You're an American." He said, "No, I'm not American. I live in America, but I'm still Indonesian. I still feel Indonesian." So he said, "Oh, I'm warning you." And so anyway, of course, what happened later?
Yes.
My father was very sad about what actually happened in 1965, because my father, this was actually 1965, not 64. So he came to Indonesia in 64, but he was actually here for 6 months. So he was here until 1965, and he almost wasn't able to leave because they were closing the airport.
Wow.
Yeah, they were closing the airport.
So your dad was leaving during September or October 1965?
He was here up till August of that year. And so he was panicking. He said, I need to go back to the US because my family's there. I don't want to stay here. And so he was able to get permission to leave from one of Sukarno's ministers. Yes. And so he left on like one of the last flights out of the airport in Jakarta, which was at Kemayoran or something. Yes. The old airport. Yes. And so he was able to leave. But then after that, everything, happened. At the situation after that. So he said to, his friends, I warned my friends that it wasn't good to get political, to become politicized, but they didn't listen to me. So that was kind of a very strange experience for my father, because he felt he was mystical, he was spiritual in that way. He felt that there was a dark cloud hanging over the palace that night. I see. And he said he could see people. It was just a very strange atmosphere, he said.
I see.
Yeah.
Amazing. So he could feel it.
He could feel it.
He saw the signs.
He saw the signs.
Yeah.
He was able to do that.
Yes.
He said, I have the ability to sort of like a paranormal ability, perhaps. I don't know.
Yes. Is this related to his alien experience in the 1950s that he first
That's
saw
what he
the-
always said. That's what he would say. He said he saw a UFO craft, a mothership,
Yep.
huge, like cigar shape.
like a cigar shape,
Yes,
right?
he saw that right before he got married. In
That's a sign.
1953. In 1953, yes. So he was sitting in a park
Yes.
at night, and he was looking up at the sky, and he saw this huge craft flying overhead very slowly.
Yeah, wow.
And he had the feeling that they were looking at him
Yeah.
from that great distance, even from that distance.
Wow.
So
Do you think it's related between his spirituality and his encounter with the aliens? At least it would affect his beliefs, right?
yes, I think there is some connection there, but
Yeah.
again, well, the abduction, the alleged abduction,
Yes.
took place many years
Yeah.
later, of course.
Yes.
After he came back to Indonesia and
Yes.
started living in Bandung again.
Yes.
But there must be some kind of connection because
Yes.
yes, it's very strange. He did have some sort of psychic ability in that way.
So before we close this second episode, I think in 1964, your dad's art print was selected as the UNICEF greeting cards.
Yes, yes. So he took part in a competition
I see.
with many other artists from other countries to have his artwork chosen as the
Yeah.
season's greeting card for that year.
Yeah. Before that was not like now. If your artwork is shown in Madison Square, New York, it's a hit during the art scene 1960s. If your artwork is selected by the UNICEF greeting card, you're the artist of the year.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and in fact, for that year, his was chosen among some others.
Yes.
But he was the first Indonesian artist to be chosen
Probably the first also is from Southeast Asia, right?
from Southeast Asia. Yes, the
Yeah.
first Southeast Asian artist to be chosen for this recognition, for this.
Yeah.
You know,
And the
award.
artwork was not even a sketch, nor it was a painting. It was a print, right?
It was a woodcut print.
Woodcut print.
It was a woodcut
Amazing.
print, yes.
So the sophistication of Kerton since 1964 already recognized by the world, especially the UNICEF in 1964. Because after the Kerton, I made a digging and some research. After the Kerton in 1964, Pablo Picasso's work was selected in 1965, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, along with other artists, top
Yes.
artists of the world,
Yes.
including Henry Moore from the United Kingdom and also
Raoul Dufy.
Raoul
From
Dufy
France.
from France. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's exciting that during his hardship he endured and then he managed to carve Indonesia and Southeast Asia in art world history by being the first Indonesian artist to be included in the UNICEF greeting card.
Yes.
So let's hear it after the 1964, the pinnacle of Kerton. How did he become the top artist in Indonesia in the 1980s and 1990s? Cut. Kepanjangan gak sih yang kedua?